Right, let's get an international perspective on the week ahead. I'm joined by Lukman Otunuga, who is in London via Skype. Lukman, thanks so much for your time on SABC News. What do you think we're going to be focusing on and watching the most in South Africa this week?
Thank you for having me here today. Yes, it's going to be another big week for markets. As you can see, stock markets are recovering from the hangover from last week after we saw much attention in the bond markets, global recession fears. But this week, all eyes will be on the minutes from the latest Federal Reserve Central Bank meeting, and of course, what's happening in Jackson Hole, where central bankers across the world will come and meet.
Lukman, do we know how the Fed will proceed after that meeting? Because a lot is resting on that.
Yes, there's so much going on across global markets. We have rising fears of potential recession, uncertainty over US-China trade developments. My thoughts is I feel that the Federal Reserve is going to continue cutting interest rates in an effort to support growth and lift global sentiment.
Okay, so do we know how people who are watching the dollar expect that currency to perform? Because, of course, it also has an influence on us here in South Africa.
Absolutely. What we can see is the dollar still remains one of the best performing currencies. It's actually appreciated against almost every single G10 currency in the past few months. What we're seeing right here is a situation where, because there's so much risk aversion and uncertainty across financial markets, investors are still rushing towards the dollar, which is still considered as a safe haven. So when the dollar appreciates, this is pressure for many emerging market currencies, including the South African rand, which has weakened roughly 7% against the dollar since the start of August.
Okay, well, you're speaking about safe haven, people fleeing, the drama on the global markets. How is gold doing in that kind of environment? Because that's also a safe haven asset. Yeah,
gold has glittered with extreme intensity the past few months, thanks to the many uncertainty that we're seeing right here. In fact, if you look at gold prices today, it's trading just above the 15,000 level. My thoughts on gold is this is the right environment for gold to continue shining. We have uncertainty, concerns over slowing global growth. The IMF have cut global growth forecasts 4 times in 9 months, with global growth forecasted to hit 3.2% in 2019. And when we're considering how just under 40 central banks have cut interest rates this year, with just under 15 cutting interest rates more than once, gold tends to perform in a low interest rate environment because it's a zero yielding asset. So my outlook on gold is very positive, and I'll be looking at how prices behave above the 15,000 level this week.
Okay, here in South Africa, we're going to be looking at inflation figures which are coming out, that 4.4% figure expected. What else can we expect from the Reserve Bank and from the South African economy this week?
Yeah, the inflation figures will shape expectations over when the South African Central Bank cut interest rates. As we know, the South African Central Bank targets price stability. So when inflation does edge lower, this should provide more breathing room for the central bank to cut interest rates in September. Now, lower rates would help stimulate growth in South Africa as it helps consumptions and it boosts business investments.
We saw the rand battling last week, and this week we know that those continued global market ructions are going to have an impact on South Africa. Do we have a way of predicting what's going to happen with the rand by the end of the week, and what factors are going to lead to any movements on our currency?
Yeah, so looking at the rand is going to be heavily influenced by what's happening outside of South Africa. So if we want to have a direction of where the rand will trade, this will depend on how markets react to the Federal Reserve minutes on Wednesday. And of course, what major central banks heads say on Thursday and Friday when they meet in Jackson Hole. If their FOMC minutes, it's dovish, meaning if it suggests that the Federal Reserve is going to cut interest rates further, this will weaken the dollar and will translate to more gains in the South African rand. The same can be said on Thursday, Friday. If we do have a situation where many central bank heads are suggesting that they're willing to come to the rescue and support their respective economies, this will positively impact global risk sentiment, and this positivity will be reflected in the South African rand.
Thanks so much for your time on Point this afternoon. Lukman Otunuga joining me from London on Skype there.